G'day again, comrade subscribers. So I met Matt down at the 40th anniversary of Amstrad thing they had on at the Australian Computer Museum Society, ACMS, down in Sydney a few months ago, and he had designed this board for the Amstrad, basically a simple ROM board, and he had, well, you know, it's minimum orders 5 PCBs, and sometimes 10 PCBs cost the same amount if you get the dimensions right. So I had a few of these spare, so he gave them out. So finally I got myself an edge connector for the Amstrad, and actually thanks to Mr. Volkman actually sent me this for another purpose but hopefully he doesn't mind me using it for this. So Matt's PicoROM for the Amstrad CPC. Very, very simple. We've got some diodes. We've obviously got the edge connector here for the CPC expansion port. A couple of reset buttons, and of course the Pico there. I think, while I was reading, it can store up to 120 ROMs, something crazy like that. So when you compare it to more traditional ROM boards, actually let me dig out what I've got. Right, so I wasn't sure what sort of connectors would work, so I got a few from DigiExpress. Did try the right angle, but the pinholes are a little bit, just won't fit in. But yeah, I think you want it plugged in like that. I think that's the better orientation. So what did I get? I got the old EDAC as well. So the EDAC fits in as well, quite nicely. The holes don't line up, but I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure. I don't know if Matt actually specifies what type of connector he used. But yeah, there's an EDAC one. And then there's this one that I got from DigiKey. That's right, DigiKey. Yeah, anyway, that's not what I got those for, was it? This is my collection of Amstrad odds and ends, collected over the years. Don't know if they're really ROM boards. Okay, this is a ROM board. Yeah, Rombo Redux Deluxe. So yeah, good old Rombo ROM board from back in the day. So this is the traditional, yeah, I guess it plugs in like that, traditional ROM board where you've got your separate ROMs like that. So as you can see, just having this and then being able to program it makes things a hell of a lot simpler, I think. Also, there's a lot less construction work required on Matt's board, I think. Just soldering, really. Of course there's soldering on this, but there's a lot more surface mount parts and things like that. So let's put that back and let's have a go. So there's two parts of it. So obviously there's building the board, and then there's programming the Raspberry Pi Pico to actually get all your ROMs on. So obviously Matt isn't supplying the ROMs on his GitHub, but you can get the ROMs that you want pretty easily. I think he has got a, I think he's got like a list of he does have some sort of pre-done configurations like games and things like that. So I need to have a look through. But this part is just soldering it all up, so we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so far so good. So Matt noted that yeah, you got to make sure you get D2 on the silk screen. It was around the wrong way, so you want the cathode pointing south. I assume he's corrected it, but for this board, yeah, we need to have that. So there's probably you don't need to include these, I guess, because these aren't actually connected anywhere, but I'll put them in anyway. So, yep, that's all ready to go. Don't need to worry about these because he's got a I think optional USB interface, so we don't need either of these for what we want to do. So I'll solder this in. Oh, and the connector, and we're done. So except for I don't have a two-way switch, so probably you could get away with just wiring it. So it's either to enable or disable the PicoROM. I think that you always want it to be enabled. I guess that's there mainly if you're going to use the USB as well. So if you want to disable it, you just turn the machine off and pull it out. So I could probably just wire that. I just need to double check. So we've got Pico reset, CPC reset, got the PicoROM in, ready to program on my Mac, and got the edge connector in. And I double checked because you obviously want it facing like this so that you can press the reset button. So let me plug it into a CPC so we can see what it looks like. Okay, we've got the Schneider out. Expansion port, plug her in, there we go. So easy to press the reset button. Let's have a look, get out of the holder, and undo there we go. So that's what it looks like. Okay, almost dinner time, so dinner, then we'll get some ROMs and follow Matt's instructions to generate the files that we need to load onto the Pico. Okay, so we're on Matt's GitHub. Go down to his instructions. Okay. Right. So I found some ROMs. Where am I? Documents, GitHub, CPC PicoROM. Okay, so I put them in. Probably can't see that, can you? Make ROMs. Okay, so once you've built the board, you need to get some CPC ROMs. Alright, so create ROM image. You need Python 3 and some CPC. You also need the PicoROM file, which is in the firmware directory. ROM images need to be plain. So you need to edit the ROM tool.ini. Okay, so that is in. Was it in firmware? No, that's where that one is. A ROM tool. Right, okay. Okay. So I've got basic 1.0, 1.1. I've got the 464, 664, and 6128 firmware. So the basics, and I've got Maxim 15. Utopia looks the wrong size. Why is Utopia wrong? Ugh. Okay. So Programmer's Toolbox and Maxam. Okay, I couldn't. Yeah, look, the problem is you have a look at documents, GitHub, this one. Okay, ROM tool. Okay, actually you could probably have a look at it on the maybe better on here actually, because it's all color coded, I think. So you look at so this is the sample one that Matt's done. You've got all these games: Gauntlet, Hunchback, Arkanoid, Boulder Dash. Oh, Thrust, my absolute favourite, Thrust, Tapper. Of course, you try and do a search for these, Amstrad Argh, and of course, everyone calls software ROMs. I'm not after the disk, I'm not after the tape, I'm after the actual ROM version. So it's going to take me a while to find all of these, unfortunately. So we're just going to try a simple one. So I've got these, so I've got the basics. Okay. But I don't have any DOS ROM at the moment because I'm doing it on the 464. So anyway, I need to edit this, don't I? So let's add. So these are DOS programs. Okay, so we've got MacOS and WIn10. Toolkit.rom. So maybe let's try it. Change that one. What was it called? PT12A. So we'll put pt12a.rom. We'll stick that one in there, and that is called Programmer's Toolbox. Okay, and actually let me remove this Utopia. Okay, so that should be my ROMs there, just basic, just basic. So I'll save that. So I just need to, let's see, I've not tried this. Let's just see what happens when we run it. Okay, excellent. ROMs OS 4. I thought I created ROMs OS 464.rom. Or is it trying to go, it's trying to go up a level. Okay. Let me move this up a level. Let me stick that there. Move that from there. Okay. Get rid of all this. Okay. Change the ROM tool again. Okay. Let's try. Okay, now it's basic 664.rom. Oh, okay, so I'm going to have to delete all the ones. What did I call it? Basic. I assume it's the same. I thought it was the same. Okay. As you can see, this is unrehearsed. Documents, GitHub, ROMs. So, yeah, thought I'll just make it. I'll just change it here, shall I? Just call it the same thing. Maybe there is a difference. I don't know. Were there any errors in the 664 version of Basic 1.1 that were fixed in the 6128 version? So does that mean? Oh no, this is where we create. All right, so we might run into errors here. So I might have to edit all this. All right, let's just try one more time. Okay, basic 664.rom. I thought I changed that. I didn't delete. Oh, didn't save it. Okay, try again. Yeah, okay, so it's looking for the AMSDOS ROMs now, which I don't have. All right, let me stop recording there. And let me delete all of this stuff that I'm not going to use. So basically, I'm not going to use any of that. I should be doing this. I'll download. I'm just saying I'm doing this in the GitHub, but I'll just download another copy. That's all right. So PicoROM. I do have the diagnostic ROM, but I'll worry about that later. PT12, I think it was PT12A, wasn't it? Utopia was the wrong size for some reason, and unfortunately I don't have any of these, so I'm going to have to, part 2, I'll try and find all of these. Okay. So default 464. Oh, okay. So maybe I'm gonna have to. All right. Let's just see what happens now when we do this. Okay. ROMs. Oh, so it needs roms.uf2. No such file or directory build. Oh, do I have to create the build? So it's generated a ROMs file. Oh, okay. So I have to. All right. Maybe I need to do that. Okay, let's try one more time. Sama Ongelma. Build ROMs pista UF kaksi. Okay, so Friday evening. G'day, comrade subscribers. So I've had some issues getting the board to work, but Matt's been working with me because he uses Linux. I've got Mac or Windows, and that's basically been the issue. Is that the way Matt transfers the files on Linux works, but when we try to do the same thing on Windows or macOS, it doesn't. So, but Matt's been checking it all out, and he's finally figured out a way to get it to work on Windows 10. So this is my board at the moment. I bought some two-way dip switches, so I'll replace that. But basically, you just need this single hardwire on there for to enable the PicoROM. I've got my Amstrad reset button, and I've got my Pico reset button, and that's basically it. And unfortunately, my don't look at that mess. My VGA capture isn't working at the moment, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to video the screen. But let's try it out. Okay, so switch on the Schneider. Yep, looking good. There we go. Cool. PicoROM version 2.0. Basic 1.0. So okay, so this is now, because I've got basic 1.1 installed inside the machine, you can see that the Pico has overtaken. So here's some ROM commands. So let's give them a try. So we've got romdir to list the current ROMs. So you can only have is it a bar command? Yeah, it's a bar command. You can only have, I think, up to 15 ROMs at a time, which is, you know, the Amstrad standard. So we've got those, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So the other commands are, for example, FW31 load, FW31 ROMs. We can control the LED Pico load, reload the Pico into bootloader mode. ROMdir, CPC 464 load, CPC load 464 ROMs. So if we go CPC 464, no. I've not done this before. No, of course not. So he needs to do a bar command. All right, we'll have to work on those with Matt. Well, how do we... Because he's got CPC 664, CPC 664. No, okay. I'm going to have to... Maybe these don't work anymore. ROM list. I've done that. No, I did ROMdir, didn't I? ROM list. Okay. So what was ROMdir again? Okay. So if I want to load ROM, list the available ROMs, enable a ROM, configure, load a ROM configuration from configuration slot. Okay, can't remember what they are off the top of my head. So, okay, what about, okay. So ROM 46. Okay. Because I don't think I can just type Arkanoid, can I? Oh, no, that's not going to work. Yeah, no, I need to load the ROM. All right, let me have a fiddle with this, and let's see. But yeah, so far so good. Okay, I've been doing a little bit more. So some of these commands don't work, so I'll have a chat to Matt. So there's going to be part 2. But all right, so if we go ROM list. Okay, I've been fiddling, and I know because there's also these configurations that you can set up when you're compiling it. So for example, configuration 1, configuration 2. So I just tried config load 2, and now we're on basic 1.1. So we've got the 6128. Okay, 6128 firmware. But if we do ROM list now, we can see that we've got Arkanoid there. So obviously every game's going to be different. So you need to figure out what the command is. So I did Arkanoid. And it's working. Cool. I love this game when I was on my old 464. I only had a green screen though. Oh. I only got the keyboard. But yeah, so Arkanoid, ZX space. All right. Are we going to play? Oh, do I have to tell the number of players? Here we go. I've got an extra paddle. Oh, this is the catch. See for catch. Okay. I used to like the laser one. I think this is the laser one here. Make as much use of it as you can. Oh no! Oh, okay. Got 2 left. The blue hats on the blue background don't really help. Oh, did I miss it? Did I? Ah. Ah, bugger. Come on, one last one. Ah. Come on. Okay, got to get hit. Ah. Do I have infinite lives, do I? Come on, probably one more hit, one more hit, one more hit. Just want to finish this level, come on. Okay, I think I've got infinite lives on this version, do I? don't I? Ah, I missed it. Oh, come on. What, 3 hits? Ah, that was unfair. Anyway. Reset the Amstrad. So reset the Pico. So I press the P button. And we go back to basic 1.0, reset the Amstrad. There we go. So it's working quite nicely. You just need to understand more how the various commands work and the different configurations. So I don't have the INI file handy in this printout. It gives the configuration 2, configuration 1. Yeah. But there we go. It's I say, so simple to build, and I think we've just about got all the, well, but Matt's the one who's done all the hard work, got all the kinks out of it. So yeah, looking forward to using this a bit more. Okay, bye for now.